NBC-TV 67 Sports proudly presents our 11th season of covering the Ohio High School Athletic Association basketball tournament. Tonight, the boys Division I Canton Regional Championship game. The Warren Harding Raiders taking on the Zanesville Blue Devils. And this TV 67 special sports presentation is being brought to you in part by George Wacom Ford. George Wacom really is your friend at the factory. CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammate. Mike Tonjes, Jim Baldus, and our friends of Image Video. Zanesville at 23-0, Warren Harding at 20-4. The Blue Devils, Buckeye Central and Athens District champions, defeating East Liverpool, Marietta, and here at the Civic Center earlier this week, edging the Jackson Polar Bears 45-43. Warren Harding, the Steel Valley and Kent District champions, beating Kent Roosevelt, Youngstown Cheney, Youngstown Rayen, and Tuesday night on this floor in double overtime, outlasting Wadsworth 75-74. Zanesville was in the Columbus Regional a year ago, was at the Canton Regional in 1980 and 88. This is their first appearance in a regional final since 1980 here in Canton, when they lost to the eventual state champions from Akron Central Howard. Zanesville owns 2 state titles in basketball in 1926 and 1955. Warren Harding consolidating with Warren Western Reserve back in 1990. Combining the 2 schools, they have made 9 appearances in 17 years in the Canton Regional. In 1989, they defeated the Jackson Polar Bears to move to the state's Final Four. And the last time they appeared in a championship game, they lost to the Perry Panthers in 1991. Zanesville, coached by Scott Aaronholt in his 5th season. Warren Harding led by Bob Larica in his 15th campaign. Both teams with excellent athletic guard play. For Zanesville, Edwin Young and Cedric Hall. For Warren Harding, Gabe Bubon and Todd Birch. But in my mind, the key to tonight's ball game is up front. Can Warren counter Zanesville's height advantage with their inside quickness? Up front, Warren has Vanessa Provitt, Lavelle Richardson, and Damian Coleman. They go 6'3", 6'3", and 6'1". Up front for Zanesville, it's Seth Martin, David Houston, and Slade Galloway, and they go 6'2", 6'6", and 6'7". We'll step aside and be back with the opening tip. It's Zanesville and Warren Harding for a ticket to the Final Four in Columbus. And from the NCAA tournament in Dayton, Ohio, TC is in the house.
We didn't drive up the night we were tracking. I think I passed Art Arfons.
It will be Seth Martin, our CCI player of the game in the victory over Jackson. And he will be jumping center against Vanessa Provitt. And this regional title game is underway. Galloway controls for Zanesville. And with the basketball, Cedric Hall. He's picked up by Richardson. Warren in a man-to-man defense, and Richardson gets the first personal foul of the game.
I didn't get to hear your pregame comments, but one of them had to be the fact that you have different or contrasting offensive philosophies here. Half-court game for Zanesville we saw the other night, and the run-and-gun variety from Warren.
And again, the height differential with Zanesville 6'6" and 6'7" out front. Tallest player on the floor for Warren at 6'3". Galloway out front, guarded by Bubon. Young inside, beautiful pass to Martin. 2-0 Blue Devils. We played 30 seconds. Right back, Birch got the roll. Birch averaging 11 per game, 15 in the postseason, has his first 2. Bounce pass inside, Martin against Coleman. Up, no, and travel call. Now, Tom, don't know if you heard, bad news for the East Canton girls. Losing in overtime in the state title game to Jackson Center. In a game completed late this afternoon, the final 77-68. The Wizards led at one point 50-40, but were outscored down the stretch 37-18. Richardson.
What a season for them, though.
Yep. Congratulations to Tom Davis and the Wizards of East Canton. An outstanding season with a record of 27-1. And state runners-up in Division 4. Here it's 4-2 Warren. We've played a minute and a half. Young and Hall out front. This is Edwin Young, the Southeast District Player of the Year. Hall is open, can't give him that shot. Hall averaging 9 per game, his first 2. We're tied at 4. 6:15 to go first period. Boubon for 3, rim no, rebound Hall. Boubon had 4 3-pointers in the double overtime win against Wadsworth and 7 threes in a tournament win earlier this season. Nice move inside. Martin has 4, and it gives the Blue Devils a 2-point lead. Martin averaging 17 per game overall, 19 in the postseason. He's got 4. And good defense as Provid was double teamed in the corner by Galloway and also by Houston, and he turns it over.
Galloway just cut off the baseline.
Blue Devils with the ball and an early 2-point lead. This is our 6th broadcast from here at the Civic Center. Galloway breaking open underneath. Galloway averaging 12 per game overall, down a little, 7 in the postseason, his first 2. Boubon, nice pass to Coleman, but slapped away into the arms of Young. Blue Devils want to run with it. Inside Martin against the double team. Offensive foul, no bucket. We'll pause. 5:15 to go in the opening period.
Trying to force the pace a little bit. Scott Aaronholt told me after the game the other night they will take that if they're given it. We didn't do much in Jackson, but we saw our first flash of it tonight. There's another walk.
Thought about the 3, then decided to drive and took an extra step in the meantime.
And a traveling contest so far.
Well, let's get this out of the way right now. This is our 6th tournament telecast, as I mentioned. On the other 5 occasions, the visiting team on the scoreboard has lost.
Every time. The home team has won every game. Tonight, over in the catbird seat, we have Warren Harding. They're the home team. People on the hot seat, if they're going to break that string, Zanesville, they're up 10-4. Exactly right. Looking to break that string.
Provid inside, nice move, couldn't get to go. Richardson right there and puts it home.
Funny how things like that, we've seen that a couple of years where only the visiting teams won. So it's kind of a weird run this year.
Yeah, the Zanesville fans will say the law of averages is on their side. Warren hopes the string continues, obviously. Houston, he'll put it up, no good. Houston right back in his arms. For the young junior, his first 2. He is the 4th Zanesville player to score. The Zanesville lead is 6. Birch will try to make it 4. No good. Provid got a hand on it. Houston with a board.
Well, Houston really played a big game against the Polar Bears the other night. 2 big free throws down the stretch were killers.
Houston gets it right back. Working on the smaller Provid. Pablo Rica wanted to travel. He didn't get it. We'll pause. 3:54 to go. Zanesville with an early 8-point lead. On the Schwartz home scoreboard, Zanesville on top, 14-6 individually. Martin and Galloway and Houston, each with 4 apiece. Hall with 2. For Warren Harding, Richardson has 4, and Birch with 2.
7 of 8 for the Blue Devils from the field. 3 of 5 from the field for Warren Harding.
You look at their tournament scores, Tom, and it seems like maybe they're more versatile in terms of the style of play. Against East Liverpool, they scored 79. Against Jackson, 45, but they came away with 2 W's. Coleman in the paint, counting a foul. Coleman, 6'1", 270-pounder. Working inside against the tall trees, draws the personal. It'll go against Hall, his first. Coleman, a 64% foul shooter, first time to the line in this regional tournament. Three-point play for Coleman, who's averaging 7 points per game on the season. And the Zanesville lead is 5, and now full court pressure. Trapping press put on by Warren, but Galloway's open for three. No good. Battle inside. Coleman strong on the boards. Probit. Young is back. Probit puts it up. No, but drew the foul.
I think it'll be Edwin Young with the foul. Good smart play that time. You see the long getaway pass to Probit. Good rebounding and good thinking by Coleman to get that one out of there.
Probit, 55% foul shooter on the season, 3 out of 6 here at the Civic Center, make it 4 out of 7. His first point of the night, averaging 15 per game. He leads Warren with 10 rebounds per contest. Got them both. So slowly but surely the Raiders pulling back into this one, down by 3, 3:25 to go in the opening period. Hall picked up by Richardson. Working it inside, slapped away by Coleman. Richardson has it. Hall trying to get back. Richardson takes it to the hole. Richardson, who averages 10 points per game already with 6 here, and Warren within 1 TC.
5 in a row posted by Harding.
Young across the timeline, guarded closely by Birch. Birch falls down. Young in the paint. He'll take it to the hole. Through the foul. I think it'll go against Coleman. No, looks like Probit will get the call.
And it was. You saw Probit with the body. Coleman just happened to be in the area.
His first. So Young, the only starter not in the scorebooks. 67% free throw shooter on the season. 3 out of 4 here at the Civic Center. Averaging 14 points per game overall, 16 in the postseason. Leads his team, 7 assists, also adds 5 rebounds per contest. The All-Eastern District Player of the Year, and just a junior. Warren out there with 4 seniors and a junior. Zanesville countering with 1 senior, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. Splits the pair. Rebound by Probit to Birch. Long pass. Boubon whips it inside for Richardson, off of Young, out of bounds. 2:39 to go here, first period. Warren with the ball, down by 2. Probit will trigger it. Now to Boubon, the main 3-point threat for the Raiders. Probit near baseline. He'll put it up over the taller Martin. Air ball into the arms of Galloway, and he gives it to Young. Zanesville would like to run this time. And a blocking foul called on the Raiders. We will pause with just under 2.5 minutes to go in the first period.
Hi, Kate.
Up again, no. Tip is in. That was Martin. Martin with 6. So Martin with 6 for Zanesville. Richardson with 6 for Warren Harding. It's a 4-point lead for the Blue Devils, and this is Birch. Birch with 4. The Zanesville lead is 2 at the 2-minute mark, first period.
And a lot of scoring early tonight. 17-15 with 2 minutes yet to go in the first.
And again, you would think a high-scoring game would favor Warren Harding, but Zanesville can really put it in. Like that play by Edwin Young, who now has 3. Birch right back. Boubon for 3. Got it. No, they'll call it a 2. They'll call it a 2-point goal. The official right there must have had his foot on the line. First points for Boubon, averaging 17 per game overall, but Tom Cannell, he is up to 23 points per game in the postseason.
Well, he hides in that corner, and they penetrate and then dish out, and he's got that free jumper.
Inside Martin, offensive foul. Will be his second.
Of the same variety.
Josh Olinger becomes the first substitution. Right behind him, first change for Warren Harding. Tamarcus Lowry, a young sophomore, will come in. Burke sits down for Warren. He's got 4. And they'll protect Martin, who's got the 2 personal fouls. He has 6 points in the game. 1:15 to go, first period. Warren with the basketball, down by 2, 19-17. This is Lowry, who just checked in. Richardson, near side. Boubon. Back to Richardson. He's had the hot hand offensively. Boubon this time for 3. Rim no. Rebound by Olinger. Off to Young. Inside a minute to go here, first period. Young working on Lowry. Looking inside Houston, instead outside to Hall. Picked up by Richardson. Hall will drive on Richardson. Put it up, put it down. Cedric Hall with 4. The Zanesville lead is 4. 33 seconds to go in the period. Bounce pass inside, double team. Provitt still puts it home. Provitt has 4. Back and forth we go.
And they're putting up good numbers shooting-wise, too. High percentages for both teams early.
Young with 15 seconds. Zanesville may go for the last shot. I think that's what Scott Aaronholt wants. 10 seconds. Young. Bounce pass inside Houston. Nice feed inside Olinger. Olinger from Houston. Olinger his first 2, and that'll do it. End of 1. Zanesville 23, Warren Harding 19.
Early, he's completed 1. 8 minutes up on the board now for period number 2. And a rather high-scoring affair. Zanesville told us they could push it if they had the opportunity. They've shown some quickness with the basketball tonight, not settling for the half-court type offense.
Individually balanced scoring on both sides for Harding. Lavelle Richardson with 6, Burge and Provitt 4 apiece. Coleman with 3, Boubon with 2, and Lowry played briefly, did not score. For Zanesville, Seth Martin, their 6'7" sophomore center, 6 points, 2 personal fouls. He's followed by Galloway and Hall and Houston, each with 4 apiece. Young has 3, and Olinger got the final bucket of the first period. We'll check the lineups here. Boubon's out there with Birch, who's back in there, Lowry, Coleman, and Provitt. Boubon for 3, got it. Boubon had 7 3-pointers in the win against Youngstown Cheney in district play. He's got 5 here. And he brings his team into the lead. As soon as I said that, I knew that was wrong. It's a 1-point Zanesville lead, 23-22. Galloway in the paint, outside Hall, and back out front. Olinger playing out high.
Didn't you do some of your early career in Zanesville?
Sure did. 1977, part of 78. Off the glass, no. Battle for the rebound off of Boubon. Nice call by the official.
Zanesville substitution, number 24, Jerry Myers.
Gary Myers, a 6-foot junior. Hall will sit down. Carlson Wilkerson, 6'2" senior, is in, giving Coleman a breather. We'll check Vic Steffen's first period numbers, first opportunity. Olinger inside Young, had it slapped away by Wilkerson. First down who? Warren Harding as Provitt comes away with it. It's 3-on-2 the other way. Lowry, bounce pass. Boubon, maybe one too many passes, but Harding keeps it as Martin returns for Zanesville. Houston will sit down.
Bob Larica up and giving directions to his Harding offense.
Zanesville from the floor, 11 out of 15. Harding 8 out of 14. Foul line, Harding 3 for 3. Zanesville 1 for 2 as Wilkerson puts it down for his first 2, averaging 6 points per game.
That's the first Harding lead of the night.
Big story in the boards where Zanesville is out-rebounded Harding by a 2-1 margin. Lowry Boobon, little runner off balance, no, and Martin with the rebound. Warren Harding leads it by 1. As they've outscored the Blue Devils 4-0 in the early going here of period number 2. Young and Birch, a great one-on-one matchup. That shot wouldn't go. Boobon comes away with it. It's 1-on-3, but he'll take it home. Drew the foul. We'll pause. 6 minutes to go here in period number 2.
Right here, he brings it up, hesitates, lets him go by, and rolls it off the glass. Just doesn't go.
He's got 6 in this game. He's the best foul shooter for Warren at 82%. That was his first free throw here at the Civic Center. Hall returns. Galloway will sit down. Each player with 2 buckets and 4 points in the game. Boobon now leads his team in scoring with 7. He'll take a breather, and Richardson returns. Richardson had 6 points in the first period, and Boobon gets a nice hand from the Warren crowd directly underneath our broadcast location. Zanesville now down by 3 as Harding's come out now and outscored Zanesville 7-0, and Lowry will get the personal foul.
Don't get away with too many of those reach arounds.
He's got Aaron Hall trying to come up with the right combination now, so Myers will sit down and Galloway's back in.
5 team fouls for Zanesville, 4 for Warren Harding.
Olinger to trigger it. He's out there with Young, Hall, Martin, and Galloway. Zanesville now trying to spread it out a little bit. Martin playing the high post at the foul line. Warren's out there with Lowry and Birch and Provitt and Wilkerson and Richardson. And there's a steal. The ball ends up in the hands of Birch. Gets it ahead to Lowry. He'll take it strong. Go wild on the shot. Tip no. Rebound by Olinger. Young brings it back in the corner to Hall, looking inside to Martin. And we're going to call a blocking foul on Lowry.
Starting to see some of that quickness that Warren is famous for, though. They're taking that ball down the floor in a hurry when they get it.
Lowry picks up his 2nd personal foul. Boobon back in for Warren. Houston back in for Zanesville. Olinger and Lowry will both take a seat. Approaching the 5-minute mark, period number 2. Warren with a 3-point lead. Hall with it. And swing it far side, Young. Inside, Martin off the glass. No. Tip. And they're going to wave off the bucket. We'll call a foul on Houston. His first.
Well, let's see. He does get to tip it in. Let's see if he goes over a number of bodies to get there.
Inside the 5-minute mark, Warren with the ball and a 3-point lead at 26-23. Birch guarded by Young. Boobon, a long 3, got the roll. Boobon, our player of the game in the double overtime win against Wadsworth on this floor Tuesday night, picking up where he left off. 8 of his 10 points have been in this 2nd period. And Warren now has a 6-point lead. Young dishes off. Martin comes in strong. No, but a foul against the Raiders.
Zanesville bench wanted goaltending. You'll watch him after the foul. Somebody will go up and swat it. Well, too quick and a bad angle.
Wilkerson will get the personal foul, his first. Coleman getting set to check in for Bob LaRicca. Harding, Tom Cannell on a 10-0 run here in the 2nd period. See if Zanesville can score here. They've gone scoreless now for over 3 minutes. Martin is a 67% foul shooter, but just 1 out of 4 in the tournament. We've talked about it before. The depth perception here at the Civic Center, a lot of depth behind both buckets. Martin splits the pair. He has 7 in the ball game. 10-0 run is over, but it's still Warren Harding by 5. Birch will try to make it 7. Todd Birch with 6. The Warren lead is 7 as we approach the midway point here in period number 2. Young trying to split the double team. Brings it back out. Make a move to the bucket, and they'll call Richardson for the blocking foul. We'll pause. 3:54 to go before halftime.
The defender just moving right with the offensive player until the whistle is blown for a block.
Young 1 out of 2 from the foul line. Make it 2 out of 3. Has 4 points in the game. Young with a tournament high 28 points in the victory against East Liverpool. Averaging 16 per game in the postseason. He had 9 points in the victory over Jackson a few nights ago. And the 6'3" junior point guard gets them both, bringing his team to within 5 at 31-26 with 3:45 to go in period number 2. Vaughn thought about the long 3. Instead, Birch will take the 3. Rim no. Rebound Houston. Young looks at Scott Aaronholt for the offensive call. Lowry ready to go back in for Warren Harding. There's a hand check on Birch. Should be his second personal foul.
Warren Harding substitution, number 12, Marcus Lowry.
Lowry in. Birch will sit down. Lowry scoreless. Birch has 6 points in the game. Tom Cannell, Zanesville as a team in this game, 4 out of 6 from the foul line. Young was 3 out of 4 from the charity stripe in the win over Jackson, and he is 4 out of 5 in this game. So the difference in depth perception not bothering the All-Eastern District Player of the Year. Looking for his 7th point.
Clawing back into it now, down only 3.
Warren came out on a 10-0 run, but Zanesville has gotten back into this ball game. Probit, nice athletic move.
Well, that time Zanesville overplayed the basketball and they were caught short under the hoop.
Probit with half a dozen, his team up by 5 as we approach the 3-minute mark to halftime. Young guarded by Lowry. Hall with 6. The Warren lead is 3 at the 2:45 mark. Boubon to Lowry. He'll make a move on Galloway in traffic and offensive foul. And that is his 3rd. First player with 3 personals.
Brings Bob LaRicca off the bench.
They'll have to bring Birch back in.
And Birch has 2. Yep.
Warren Harding substitution, number 22, Todd Birch.
Defensive man firmly planted right at the baseline.
Well, Lowry just a sophomore getting on the job training here in this regional title game.
I think that was Galloway that took the charge.
Galloway, the only senior in the starting lineup for the Blue Devils.
And that should say something in itself.
Zanesville trying to cut in the 3-point lead. Galloway for the tie.
Well, you featured him for about 30 seconds there.
There's a highlight reel right there. No editing necessary. Galloway with 7, tied at 33 as we approach the 2-minute mark before halftime. And that one thrown away, and the Blue Devils will get it. Well, Tom Cannell, first time in a lot of years we don't have a Stark County or Summit County representative in this title game, but we expected a close, entertaining contest, and that's exactly what's being delivered here tonight at the Civic Center. And that's a tribute to both teams and both coaching staffs.
Two quality teams here tonight. A little unhappy we don't have the Polar Bears or the Bulldogs or somebody locally here, but that doesn't mean we don't have good basketball for you.
Ball off to Houston, looking inside to Young. Houston will take it. David Houston with 6, and Zanesville back up on top, 35-33. Richardson will put it up over the taller Houston. Shot is short. Martin with the rebound. Here come the Blue Devils. Young across the timeline. He stops. Cross court. Nice job by Martin. Back to Young. Young in the paint. Bounced outside. A 3 from Galloway. Off the glass.
Well, they'll kid him about that later.
But he'll take it.
That's exactly right. Under a minute, I'm escaping here.
All right. The Zanesville fans, and they brought a lot up from Central Ohio. You can hear them. Boubon left alone for 3. No, Galloway will draw the foul as Probit went over his back, and Probit has picked up his 3rd personal foul. Everything going the Blue Devils' way right now with 44 seconds to go before halftime. Yeah, they say 2. 2 fouls on Probit. We had him for 3. As the opinion at the table means a lot more than ours. Olinger back in for Zanesville. We're also going to see for the first time Noah Joseph, a 5'9" senior who's in the backcourt. He wears number 22. Boy, Galloway has been the trigger man to ignite the Zanesville comeback. He's hit a pair of 3-pointers. He's looking for his 11th point. Doesn't get it. And skying high for the rebound is Probit. Stolen away by Galloway to Martin. Martin in the paint. Got it. Martin with 9. A 7-point Zanesville lead. Ball loose on the floor. Boubon has it. We're inside 30 seconds. Back out to Burge. Cross court Richardson. Back to Burge. Warren may elect to take the last shot even though they're down by 7. That's exactly what they're going to do. Probit will put it up over Martin. Beautiful shot. Probit with 8, and that'll do it. Halftime here at the Civic Center. The score, Zanesville 40, Warren Harding 35.
Think that this is just going to be a stepping stone for him. We'll probably see him up here again next year if that's the way it works out through the tournament schedule.
Do some quick figure work here. After Harding went on that 10-0 run to start the period, Zanesville outscored him 17-6 for the remainder of the second stanza to regain the lead and have a 5-point advantage. Young out there right now with Birch in a battle of 2 very, very good point guards. Hall guarded by Richardson.
Pretty sticky man-to-man put on now by Harding.
Back to Young. Down goes Richardson. The officials say play on. In the paint, Young short, gets it right back and puts it down.
That was a pretty good athletic move. Right back up with it.
Young with 9. The Zanesville lead is 7. 7:20 to go, 3rd period. Probit cut off at the baseline, trying to force it inside. Ball is loose. Hall stole it away. Coleman tried to save it. And a nice athletic move to avoid the waste paper basket there at the end of the bench.
How would you like to see 6'1", 240-pound Coleman coming at you from about 3 feet away? Whoever was in that chair just aged a little.
Young with it. Picked up by Birch. 2 point guards not afraid to go to the glass to take it inside. Good one-on-one battle, and Birch knocked it away. Birch the other way, 3-on-2. Boubon off the glass. Boubon with a dozen, and the Zanesville lead is back to 5. Just underway here, period number 3. Martin, the center, bringing the ball up. Now locked away by Birch again against Hall.
Birch with 2 fouls, just reaching in there to he prevents him from getting across the midcourt line. It's a turnover. 6:39 remaining. Third period. We'll be back. 42-37 Zanesville.
You see it on the Schwartz home scoreboard. Birch couldn't get the shot to go inside. The ball is up and good for Coleman. Coleman with 5, averaging 8 points per game on the season. The lead is down to 3. Galloway taking it inside. Young, oh, beautiful pass. Good unselfish play by Young as he dishes it off to Houston, who has 8.
Well, he was off balance with a good look, too.
Right back, wasting no time. Probit, he's got 10. That's the thing that impresses you about Harding. They did it the other night against Wadsworth. They can score in a hurry. Ball in the open court. Now picked up. He'll put it up. Can't get it to go down. And Richardson with the rebound. Harding with the ball. Down by 3. We've played 2.5 minutes here in the third period. Richardson. Richardson with 8. And the Zanesville lead, which was 5 at halftime, is down to a single point, 44-43. Zanesville wants time. 5 minutes, 24 seconds to go in the third period. Warren Harding is pulled to within 1.
Schwartz home scoreboard. And it's funny, basketball long thought of as a game of momentum, a game of runs. Same thing down in Dayton this weekend, where we saw Michigan didn't score for like 8 minutes on Friday or Thursday night. You just look at that and you wonder, how could a team bring a ball down the floor for 8 minutes and not get anything through the hoop? But it happens. And then all of a sudden the other team will go just as cold, and then the team that couldn't score will pick it up.
What's been the most memorable game you've seen so far down there?
That was it was the Western Kentucky-Michigan game that ended about 10 after 12 on Thursday night. It was phenomenal right down to the end. Western Kentucky made a bucket, 3-point bucket to send it to overtime, and then Michigan just went cold.
It's not been a good tournament for the Big Ten.
Well, no, but Miami of Ohio played a great game too against Arizona. That's the first one we saw.
Here it's Zanesville with the ball in a 1-point lead.
They're calling it the Big Bust, not the Big Ten.
Galloway with a step on Boubon and gets the personal call.
If you ever get a chance to go down to one of those, I know you're always working. You work more than I do. Those are a good time. You really enjoy the ball games and the pep bands of the people.
And for the number of years it's been down in Dayton, they've certainly done a great job down there.
Oh, it's a great facility.
Martin couldn't get it to go. Galloway comes away with it. He'll put it up in the paint. Off balance. Had it for a moment. Lost it. Birch. No. Richardson right there. Richardson averaging 10 per game already with 10 points here. And it's Harding back on top by 1. They've come out here and outscored Zanesville 10-4 to turn a 5-point deficit into a 1-point lead. Young, nice move inside Martin, and he's fouled.
Well, they got the ball, but they got plenty of body too, and that's what the foul call is on. Nice pass inside. Now, put it up. They do get the ball, but they get plenty of his body and take him down.
Foul on Coleman, just his first. Martin at the foul line, 1 for 2 in the game. 2 out of 5 here at the Civic Center. Has made 2 out of 3 on the season on average. He's got 10 points. He was our CCI player of the game against Jackson, and finishing with 17 points. He just a sophomore, but plays like a senior. Martin averaging 17 points and 10 rebounds per game, leading the team in both departments. So back and forth we go. The Blue Devils by 1 as we approach the midway point here in period number 3. Birch takes it all the way.
What a great screen set by Coleman. He just peeled the defender right off.
Birch has 8. It's Harding by 1, 47-46. Zanesville will get into their setup offense. Hall, guarded by Boubon. Martin inside in the paint, got the roll. Martin has It's 13. 1 point, Zanesville lead. Burge trying to put a move on Hall. Had it slapped away by Galloway. Boban, three. His third three-pointer. 15 points for Boban, and Zanesville wants to talk it over. Warren Harding by 2. 3:40 to go in the third period.
Up on Zanesville. It was 23-19 Zanesville after 1 and 40-35 Zanesville after 2. But in between, the lead has been going back and forth.
Well, let's see. Harding has outscored Zanesville 15-8. On a 5-point deficit into a 2-point advantage.
But you know, you look at the second period with about 3.5 minutes left in that. Zanesville had only scored 5. Then they picked it up the last 3.5 minutes of that half. Now they're in the same position at 3:40 remaining in this period.
Bob Larica looking for career victory number 282 in Warren. Got Aaron Holt looking for his 66th victory in his 5th season at Zanesville.
And once again, we're saying that the visitors tonight, which is Zanesville, anyone who's had that bench in this tournament, the last 5 have all lost.
Suddenly it's 3-on-1 the other way. Olinger, and it's blocked by Richardson, who got back. Martin there, no. He tips no and draws the foul.
And that's going to be, I believe, on Provitt.
His third.
It's on the shot right there, on the putback, on the tip, over the back.
Martin looking for points 14 and 15 here. He is 3 out of 5 from the foul line in this game. 4 out of 8 in the postseason. Provitt with the 3 personals will sit down. Wilkerson is back in. Provitt sits down with 10. Wilkerson is back in with 2. Martin, his best tournament outing in terms of offense, 21 points in the regional win over Marietta at Ohio University. And he's got 14 points here. Brings his team to within a point. 3:25 to go third period. Richardson picked up by Martin. Coleman out high, guarded by Olinger. Back to Richardson. Ball loose on the floor and taken away by Hall. Birch knocks it out of bounds. And Zanesville will get it. 3:04 to go period number 3. 50 for Harding, 49 for Zanesville. Olinger gets it to Hall in the open court. We're 3-on-2 at this end. Galloway fakes the 3. Beautiful fake, puts it up, no. Olinger there for the offensive board. Olinger with 4 as Zanesville has dominated the board work since the outset. Harding hanging tough, down by just a point with 2:35 to go here in the third period. Coleman. A shovel pass, Richardson up, no good. Coleman had it, lost it. Olinger comes away with it. Quickly the other way where it's 3-on-1. What a move by Martin. Zanesville lead is 3. 2:15 to go. Birch is open. Couldn't get the roll. Boban right there. No. And Galloway saves it to Young. Hall at the three-point arc. Hall with 9. His first three-pointer of this game. He is the best three-point shooter on the Zanesville team, hitting 45% of those shots. Just like that, it's Zanesville by 6. Birch off balance. No. Martin strong off the board. And a foul on Birch.
And Bob Larica is going to take a timeout, circle the wagons here.
Third personal, Tom, on Birch.
With a minute 36 remaining in the third.
And let's pause. 1:36 to go. The Blue Devils lead it by 6.
And stomping. They're on another little mini run here, and they're up 56-50 on the Schwartz home scoreboard.
Harding now has 3 players, TC, with 3 fouls apiece. Birch, Provett, and Lowry. And I don't have anyone on the Zanesville team with more than Seth Martin, who has 2 personals.
Bob Larica has seen enough in that little run, 8-0 against his team, to call timeout, try to settle the troops down.
Gary Myers is back in for Zanesville. He wears number 24. So it's Myers, Olinger, Galloway, Houston, and Young on the floor for the Blue Devils. Wilkerson, Richardson, Provett, Boubon, and Birch out there for Bob Larica. Full court pressure applied, but Young breaks and then loses the ball, gets it right back in his hands. Cross court. Olinger thought about the 3, but passes it up. I think it's a little out of his range. Young, nice dish off. Houston baseline.
They can spread it around a lot of different ways.
Houston in double figures with 10. Wasting no time, and it's off the leg of Richardson. After a brief rest, Hall is back in, and Young will sit down. Hall is back in with 11, and Young sits down with 9. Full court pressure applied by Harding. Hall will now play the point.
And he waved everybody out of the back court so he could bring it up.
Guarded by Birch. Birch just picked up his 4th personal foul. Just like that, Lowry will have to come in and replace him. Good look at Scott Aaronholt, the Zanesville coach.
Here he tries to pick his pocket right at midcourt. And the referee standing about 10 feet away.
Bob Larica's 2 point guards have a combined total of 7 personal fouls. That could really hurt him down the stretch. 8-point Zanesville lead, under a minute to go. Galloway gets it to Myers. Myers against Richardson.
Going to weave it around out front a little bit.
Work on the clock. One of their leaders, Young, is taking a breather. So is Martin. So they're 2 of their top players, TC, are on the bench right now. So a good move by Zanesville with the ball, an 8-point lead to work on the clock. As we're down to 30 seconds, third period.
A lot of movement away from the ball. Looking for a backdoor cutter if they can get one.
Galloway back out. Hall will bring it back. 20 seconds to go.
Set up a play. They've got double stack at the low post.
1 to 10, 9, 8. Hall right down the lane.
And they split him with a double at low post, and both guys each side went wide, open the lane up.
Lowry, the long shot, no good. It's Zanesville by 10 after 3 periods of play.
The Zanesville Blue Devils lengthening at each call. +4 at the end of 1, +5 at the end of 2, stretching it to +10 at the end of 3.
Individually, Richardson, Provett each with 10 for Harding. They're led by Boubon with 15. Birch has added 8, 5 Coleman, 2 for Wilkerson. For Zanesville, great balance. Martin 16, Hall 11, Houston and Galloway 10 each. Young with 9, and Olinger off the bench with 4. A 10-point Zanesville lead. Lowry passed on the 3. Will throw up the 2. No good. Tip no. And what's the call? Young for Zanesville with the push.
His hand up before the referee even pointed at him because he knew it was him. That's just the first team foul in the second half on Zanesville to 5 for Warren.
Just the second personal on Young. Provett to trigger it. Strong pass in there. Wilkerson didn't get the roll. Hall comes away with it. The Blue Devils on the run with the ball. A 10-point lead, 7:40 to play. Martin at the high post. Guarded by Provett. Martin a 4-inch height advantage there. Houston picked up by Wilkerson. The three by Galloway, not this time. Young, though, with the offensive board. Back out to Hall. Makes a move on Boubon. No good. Ball bounced around, volleyballed around. Here comes Lowry for Warren. Knocked away by Martin. Warren will keep it.
Played about a minute with no scoring here in the fourth.
Blue Devils outscoring Harding 20 to 15 to increase their lead from 5 at halftime to 10 at the end of 3.
And a nice job by the fans of both schools. This place is full tonight.
Wilkerson picked up by Houston. And a whistle, foul on Houston. Through 3, TC, shooting from the floor, Zanesville 65%, Harding 54, outstanding both ways. At the foul line, Zanesville 9 for 13, Harding 5 out of 5. And again, the big story, and only 16 turnovers between the two, but the big story rebounding. Zanesville 21 boards to a dozen for Harding.
They need to get this ball to Boubon a little bit more. I think Zanesville knows that. They have Galloway on them.
Probit. Probit with a dozen. And the Zanesville lead is 8. As we approach the 6.5-minute mark to play in this ball game. For the winner, the Canton Regional title and a ticket to the Final Four in Columbus next Friday night. Galloway, Hall, Martin, Young, and Houston on the floor for Scott Aaronholt's team. Martin puts it up, can't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Wilkerson. Hands off to Lowry, across the timeline. Approaching the 6-minute mark to play. Harding down by 8. Get it inside Probit, working on Young. Ball is loose right into the arms of Galloway. .550 to play. Young guarded closely by Lowry, out of bounds to the Blue Devils. Birch on the bench with those 4 personal fouls. So Lowry gets a call beginning of the 4th period from Bob Laricka to play point guard. Oh, nice play. Young to Martin. 18 points for Seth Martin. Another beautiful assist for Edwin Young. Knocked away by Young. Foul on Young. That's his 3rd. He thought he got all ball. Coleman coming back in for Warren.
And, you know, while we're giving out kudos, you've done a very nice job in the last 2 weeks. No cold, no annual cold. It hasn't shown up. You've been right on top of your game.
Lowry gets it, guarded by Hall. Both teams playing tenacious defense here tonight, despite the high score. Boubon, a long 3, and he drains it. 4th 3-point goal by Boubon, who has 18 points. So he and Martin tied for game-high scoring honors, 18 apiece. The Zanesville lead is 7. Pass inside, knocked away by Lowry, out of the hands of Martin. Birch to come back in for Harding. Olinger in for Zanesville. Houston will sit down. And Lowry sits down for Warren.
Cross-court pass, dangerous one, nearly picked off, then slapped out of bounds.
5:07 to play. Inbounds to Martin. He's almost unstoppable in there. Martin with 20 points in this ball game. It's 17 in the victory over Jackson, averaging 17 per game overall, 19 in the postseason, so he's right on target. Boubon. This is Probit trying to work on a pick by Richardson, and Galloway with still another steal. Young in the open floor. Dishes over. Hall thought about the 3, but big Coleman guarding him. And back to Martin. Approaching the midway point to play here in the 4th period. Now they try to work it inside. Probit knocked it away nicely. Boubon comes away with it. Could be a big possession here for Harding. Down by 9. They need some points. Here's the guy that can get it for him, but not this time. Olinger comes away with it. They got the shot they wanted. It just didn't drop.
Well, every time down the floor is important for him now.
Boubon thought he knocked it off of Galloway, but the official right there. They've done a nice job tonight. Keith Van Horn and Philip Schumann. 64 for the Blue Devils, 55 for the Raiders with 4:11 to play. Knocked out of bounds again by Boubon. Showing he can play defense as well as hit those three-pointers.
He's going to be a nice player for somebody. 6'3" senior.
Ollinger to Trigger to Young. Birch has to be careful. He has 4 personals. Young knew it and took it home.
Exactly right. That's a smart play by Young.
He's in double figures with 11. Richardson right back. No. Young with the rebound.
New biggest lead total at 11.
We'll see how the Blue Devils play it here with 3:48 to go, and they're up by 11. Young in the paint. Call a blocking foul. I think it's against Ollinger. And we have a timeout on the floor. It is against Ollinger. 3:31 to play. It's Zanesville with their biggest lead of the game.
The pressure's on, and a 2-point shot can win the game in the last second. I'm Rick Minster, General Manager of Montrose Lincoln Mercury, where there's never any last-second pressure or hassle when purchasing a 95 Lincoln or Mercury. You'll score big savings with our everyday rock-bottom prices, and our starting lineup is always ready. Montrose Lincoln Mercury in Alliance, 2480 West 8th Street, right next to Carnation Mall.
Water softener owners, if your old-fashioned system has turned into a salt hog, now's the time to replace it with a revolutionary water plant from Connecticut. This totally new concept in water treatment operates at half the cost of the old-fashioned systems, uses no electricity, and produces ultra-high-quality drinking water. Stop pouring money into that old-fashioned salt hog. Replace it with a Connecticut water plant and get better water for less. Now get a $200 rebate at all participating Connecticut dealers and Clearwater System stores.
I started drinking when I was 12 and started doing drugs when I was 14. I could go off into the fantasy world of where I was anything I wanted to be, and I realized that I was totally out of control. Edwin Shaw Hospital changed my life because they cared about me unconditionally. No matter how desperate you become, you can stop now. You know, call Edwin Shaw Hospital, because that's what I did.
Final game, 4,238. That's
Good number. Killed it again.
4,238. As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of
We
today's
see the
game has
foul along the baseline.
spectators remain off the playing court.
Well, we expected a good turnout tonight. We got it, 4,238, and that's hats off to 3 groups of people. The Zanesville folks, the Warren Harding folks, and the local folks who've come out to see this ball game despite the fact that there's no local team involved. I don't think anybody's going to want their money back. It's been a very entertaining ball game.
No, we talked about how well they put the NCAAs on down in Dayton. A pretty bang-up job of putting this on here, too.
Yep, and our congratulations and thanks for continuing support to Bob Pat here at the Civic Center, Dr. David Boehner, the tournament director, and all the folks who are involved here at the Canton Memorial Civic Center. Boubon for 3, just short, right back into the arms of 14. At the foul line, shovels it back. Harding running out of time here. They have to put up a shot in a hurry. Coleman. Probit. Good defense by the Blue Devils. Probit trying to work on a pick, no, but draws the foul, which does stop the clock at the 3:11 mark.
Scott Aaronhold up and walking. I'm sure that he's got to have a lot of excitement going through his veins at this particular point. He's only 3 minutes and 11 seconds away from a trip to beautiful downtown Columbus.
Won't be much of a trip from Zanesville to Columbus, time-wise, distance-wise. Probit 2 out of 2, make it 3 out of 3 from the foul line tonight. 55% foul shooter on the season. He's 6 out of 9 in the tournament. 3-year starter. He's looking for his 14th point. Well, like with Jackson, Warren, a senior-dominated club, and it's the junior class which dominates the starting lineup for the Blue Devils. And in this case, in this tournament, it looks like youth is going to prevail unless Warren stages a dramatic comeback with 3 minutes to play. Zanesville with the ball up by 9. Martin baseline cut off by Coleman. Little give and go play. Martin with 22. The Blue Devils lead is 13 as we approach the 2:40 mark. Birch up in the air, counted a foul. Birch with 10, he'll look for 11 at the line. It'll be Houston picking up the personal. His third, and Olinger will be in to replace him. Houston sits down with 10 points, and that is his tournament high. He had 5 against the Polar Bears the other night. Birch could not convert from the foul line. That was his first attempt, but Boubon is right there. He puts up the 3, no good. And Young has it. Zanesville with the ball, up by 11, 2:30 to play. Olinger with it. Zanesville will work on the clock. 2:20 to play. The Blue Devils up by 11. There's a steal by Birch. Timed that perfectly. He'll take it in and put it down. Birch with a dozen. The Zanesville lead is 9. There's a foul on Boubon. And they're going to call a T on Boubon. He said something to Galloway.
A little frustration. But you're going to see after the foul, Boubon will have something to say to him. Whatever he said right there, the referee was within earshot.
Hey, Galloway's played a nice game here tonight. He's got 10 points, had a couple of big threes. 0 for 2 from the foul line. He is the best free throw shooter percentage-wise on the Zanesville team at 84%. Birch comes down here. I don't know what. Boy, Birch came flying into the picture.
Did we have the right guy shooting the foul? I think probably so.
Well, that was the player that Boubon made his comment to. I can tell you that. And Bob Laricka's at the table. Officials trying to sort it out. Keith Van Horn and Philip Schumann.
He just made the last one, did he not?
Yes, he did.
They haven't credited him yet.
No. I don't think that one counts. We'll have to, for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. So officially 1 out of 2 from the foul line, no matter how you slice it. A 10-point Zanesville lead. Of course, the Blue Devils will get the ball. Now, wait a minute.
Scott Aaronholt wants to know where his point went to. Now they put it up there.
Okay.
Bob Laricka getting his money's worth along the press row. There he is being...
I think he wants to know why did they get 3 attempts to put 2 down. Was it a bonus situation or how? An explanation of the official rule there.
Everybody seems in agreement at the scorer's table. Well, the phantom shot.
And we're ready to go. 2:05 to play. 72 for Zanesville, 61 for Warren, and a foul in the backcourt, and Birch is gone.
And with 4 fouls, Birch was just beating bodies out at mid-floor.
So for the 3-year starter in what is probably his final game in a Warren Harding uniform, he finished finishes with 12 points.
Warren Harding, substitution number 12, Marcus Lowry.
There you see the body contact being initiated by Birch. And Birch will leave to a good hand. And the fans on both sides of the floor.
You know, he and Probert, 3-year starters. Boubon, a 2-year starter. Bob LaRicca saying of all the teams, and he's had some great ones, this is probably a nice a bunch of kids as he's had. Edwin Young, we're seeing why tonight. He was voted Eastern District Player of the Year. Great all-around game offensively, defensively. At the line tonight, TC 6 out of 7.
Well, his ballot box runneth over.
Yes. And he'll stay at 14 points, but that really doesn't tell the entire tale of his game here tonight. Zanesville by a dozen, 1:54 to play. Boubon, long 3, no. Tip Richardson, no. Tip is good by Probert. He's got 16. Next stoppage of play will announce our CCI players of the game. Hall with it, double team by Richardson and Boubon, and Galloway will be fouled by Probert. And Bob LaRicca doesn't believe that one.
Well, they trap him right here, and there's the reach in and take away.
Bob wanted the jump ball. Well, Tom Cannell, who do you like tonight for our CCI players of the game?
Well, on the Zanesville side, you've got to like Young.
Well, we talked about his fine all-around game. Let's make special mention to Martin, who won it the other night. We always try to spread the wealth, so to speak. And that man at the foul line, Galloway's played a strong game as well. He's got a dozen now. Zanesville a minute and a half away from going to Columbus. That was the 4th personal on Probert. Who do you like on the other side?
Well, I'm going to give you 3 and let you pick one. I think the guy that's toiled inside for 2 nights and has just worked as hard as he can, Damian Coleman, has kept his team in the ball game off the boards. I also like the job that Probert has given us, and Boubon, who was our player of the game the other night.
And again, I think 3 strong candidates, and I think we'll spread the wealth since Boubon got it the other night. I think we'll go with Vanessa Probert, who tonight had 16 points in the ball game. A great athletic performance. So congratulations to our CCI Ameritech Centrex players of the game. 3-year starter and senior Vanessa Probert of Warren Harding, and junior and All-Eastern District Player of the Year, Edwin Young of Zanesville. There's a handsome plaque they'll receive, and a big thank you to Rick Lutz and all the fine folks of CCI and Ameritech Centrex. Our final basketball telecast of the season, and they've given away a ton of plaques, and we appreciate that. Appreciate their support, both from an advertising perspective and from that perspective. Galloway hits both foul shots. And Zanesville gets the ball right back. Their lead is a dozen, a minute 20 to play. Bollinger, double team, triple team. Found the open man, Martin. Unselfishly to Young. That was a payback for what happened earlier. In fact, check that. Not Young 42, but Hall number 12. But again, another example of the unselfishness of the Zanesville Blue Devils. There's a steal by Galloway. 1 minute to play. Zanesville up by 14. With the regional title within sight. Hall, good effort to bring it back out. No point getting greedy here at this point. 50 seconds to play.
Well, they don't need any more points unless they can get a bunny like this one.
Seth Martin, 25-point performance tonight. The Zanesville lead is 16. Lowry didn't get it to go. Young has it. The Zanesville fans begin to celebrate. Hall with it. 2-on-1 the other way, and Hall will back it out. And again, a smart move. You've got more than enough points to win here with 20 seconds to play. Young, Martin. Martin, Young, and he backs it out. Another smart play. The Zanesville Blue Devils. And there's the shot by our CCI player of the game, Young. 16 points. And this game is over. The Zanesville Blue Devils remain undefeated, and they're heading to Columbus. The final score, Zanesville 81, Warren Harding 63.
Hi, it's me again for your friend at the factory, George.